Stitch number 13 is the stitch you use to sew buttons on. So the first thing you'll notice is that it doesn't tell you, the foot recommendation is that you don't use a foot. So if you touch the little eye, it has, it has no foot number. Next, do make sure that you lower the feed dogs. I like to do that because then they're not touching or at all moving my button around. Even gives me a little bit more room underneath as I get things set up here. Now you do notice that the needle is kind of leaning over here to the left side. So I'm going to sink my needle by hand slowly down into the left needle hole of my button. Now this button is 4 holes, so I'm going to just do the 2 front ones first, and then we'll move back and then do the 2 in behind that. So you do want to just test that when the needle swings, that it swings into the other hole, doesn't hit your button. Most buttons are the same size, and all you do is you just sew until it stops. It stopped for me, so I can just lift up. I can even just move back, realign that needle to one hole, test the swing of that other hole, and then just stitch until it's done. That is how easy buttons can be stitched on. Now you notice that this button is stitched directly to the fabric. There's not really room for another piece of fabric to be hooked underneath. Now if I wanted a little shank of thread, your multi-purpose tool that comes with the machine can be positioned underneath the button, and then when you stitch the button on, you will have that little gap, little extra thread, leaving a little room for a second piece of fabric to be buttoned into place. So just keep that in mind. The multi-purpose tool has that name for a reason.